Hey guys, Shock here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to show off my X-1 Goat Control deck that I piloted at the Tinley Gaming Goat yesterday, and it went really well. Obviously X1, I ended up placing 6th, even though I went X1. I was at the second table, the second highest table, and we ended up actually winning our last round, but due to some unfortunate tiebreakers, I ended up getting 6th place, which, you know, it is what it is, out of, I think it was 20-ish people. So it was a really fun tournament. Guys, go check out the Gaming Goat in Tinley Park, Illinois. It's a great place to go play some Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're doing Goat tournaments on Fridays, so I highly recommend checking them out. Again, I played Goat Control, which is probably my favorite deck. And yeah, I know a lot of people don't play this deck anymore in the modern GOAT format, but I really like it, and I think it's really good and it's really fun. So yeah, so don't forget, guys, to comment, like, and subscribe for my channel. Please, I really appreciate it. A lot of people have given me some great support. So a really quick one to run through matchups before I get into the list. So matchups were I played Clown Control. I 2-0'd him. The first game was really rough, but the second game I was able to side in some stuff and it was much easier, and he didn't open as well. Second match I played against a really good player, actually. He was playing, it was like, I think he smoke screened into Goat, but he was playing Warrior. So he played Warrior and then he smoke screened into Goat. So I got it actually 2-0. So that was pretty good. And then we played against my third matchup, which was Pure Goat, and I actually ended up losing that 1-2. But each game I lost to Ring, which, you know, it happens. But the third game I Solemn Judgment into when I shouldn't have, and then he ringed me, killed me for it. So Ring of Destruction's a really good card. And then the fourth and final round we played, I actually played against Reasoning Gate Turbo, and I was actually able to beat that deck 1-2 against one of the store owners, Nick. Such a good guy. Really huge shout outs to him for giving me these Korean Goat tokens. They're so cool. I highly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So shout out to Nick there. I think Jerry was my second round opponent. RJ was my first round opponent. And then Tyson was my second round opponent. All a bunch of really cool guys. So super fun day. Let's get into it. Let's go with the main deck first, and then after that, we'll talk about the extra inside. So let's start with the main deck. So first off, of course, the BLS, you have to play it. Best card in the deck. Really important to make sure you manage your lights properly to get them into the graveyard. We don't actually play that many lights, which I really want to bump up. So it's hard to like find room. Parshath is the other boss monster you want to play. I stand by this. I know that this card's not very good against Spy and other things like Chaos Sorcerer, but really you want to just apply pressure, and using Scapegoat, using Metamorphosis to get into Thousand Eyes Restrict, taking that threat, and then using Parshath to apply the pressure. They have to respond, and you get that +1. You're applying that pressure, you're getting that damage in. That's the important thing. So that's why I like this card at least game 1 against pretty much every deck. It's also extremely good against the Mirror, which I didn't think I was going to play that many, but you really need to prepare for the Mirror as well, because it's still a really hard matchup. 2 Gravekeeper Spy. This card's incredibly good. So Warrior and Chaos are the 2 best decks. So naturally we have to adapt to that. And Spy's really good with Parshath. I really, really like it. Really good defensive wall. Really hard for us to deal with. So Spy is insane. The 2 Faith, you don't really need to talk about it. It's an incredible card. It's one of the best cards in my deck for sure. And 1 Dekoichi. So Dekoichi I like. It was a really nice addition. I didn't want to play Morphing Jar. I really think Morphing Jar is an incredible card. But the problem with it is that there's too much chaos running around. And it's also really bad against Warrior as well, because Warrior can just like set their entire hand and they don't care. And they usually don't have a hand. So it's much better against Pure Goat than... So I want to side it in the future, but I haven't been able to find space in the side. We'll talk about the side in a little bit. But yeah, Dequachi really good. Extra beat stick. Also drawing cards is nice. Then we're running standard goat stuff. 2 Tsukiyomi, 1 Azura Priest. Just standard beaters. They're really nice just to attack your opponent. Tsukiyomi is also really good in tandem with Knock and with Thousand Eyes Restrict and doing all that cool stuff. Just very, very good cards, apply a lot of pressure, and they're hard to get rid of, which I like too. And then for your beat sticks, you're playing 1 Breaker, 1 DD Warrior Lady, 1 Sangan, and 1 Tribe. These are all just like, in their own right, really good monsters. And then, of course, the 1 Sinister Serpent to go along with that combo. These are all pretty standard cards for GOAT. So I'm running the 16 monster lineup. I like it as of right now, and we'll see. I might want to bump it up later to 17, but we'll see. For spells, so I went with a 3-3 ratio. For a long time, I was on 2 Scapegoat, 3 Metamorphosis, but a very simple thing is that, like, the problem with this deck versus Warrior is that they just overwhelm you and kill you, but a lot of them aren't playing Azura Priest right now because they don't respect this deck anymore, and Scapegoat is so good against them when they don't respect that card, when they don't respect Scapegoat. So yeah, it's just incredibly strong, and then the 3 meta to pair with it. 3 meta is just so powerful, and you're able to just like deal with your opponent's boards, just pick them apart, and then just eventually choke them out with advantage, which I absolutely love with this deck. It's so fun. 2 book, I really wanted to play 3, but I decided for this tournament to deck build a little bit conservatively. You'll kind of see as we go along here. I wanted to add some tech choices, but I didn't want to go too crazy. I did like the Book of Moon, but I do not think I would play 3 of it. It is a good card though, for sure. 2 Knock is self-explanatory, extremely good against Chaos and against the Mirror. Pretty bad against Warrior most of the times, but sometimes you can use Tsukiyomi or whatever to flip something face down, or Book of Moon, something face down, and then Nobleman across out. So yeah, those cards are all staples, obviously. And then the one-ofs, so 1 creature swap. So creature swap kind of goes along with Nobleman across out in that it's a card that allows you to deal with flip effect monsters. And you have a lot of cards like the Spirit Monsters and Sangan and Sinister Serpent and your GOAT tokens to make creature swap live. So you can take your opponent's flip effect monster before they get something good out of it. And then you're playing your, of course, staple amazing cards. These cards are absolutely nuts. Pot of Greed's very good card. Premature Burial, Snatch Steal, of course. Premature Burial is such a strong card, even when Chaos is really good. And then Heavy Storm and MST. Don't regret playing any of these cards. They're all extremely strong. Creature Swap, something maybe I'd want to cut in the future, but I do like the ability to kind of go second a little bit easier. Dust Tornado, Sakuretsu Armor, the standard 2 1-of trap cards that pair with the broken ones. The Call of the Haunted, the Mirror Force, the Ring, and the TT. I just went really standard with my trap lineup this time because I didn't want to mess with the formula, and it all performed pretty well. In the future, I'm really going to try and experiment more with my side and kind of see what I like and what I don't like. My side is pretty decent, though, I would have to say. Let's hop right into the side because you guys already know the extra deck. So the extra deck, the side deck, we're playing the 1 Jinzo and the 1 Exiled Force. So these 2 cards, along with the 2 Mind Control, were in here to play against any like type of Chaos deck. I didn't want to play Kaikus. I didn't think they were that good. The way I built my deck is I really wanted to be able to just trade with my opponent. So Mind Control and Exiled Force were like the only cards I was actually playing for a while versus the deck. Like, this is what I thought was like the only cards you really needed. And then I started thinking of like, well, what do I actually side out? And I really didn't want to keep my Parshaths in. I didn't think they were very good. But I wanted to keep at least 1 Tribute in. So I decided to side in Jinzo, and Jinzo obviously also has overlap in other matchups. So it's kind of nice there, as well as Exiled Force has overlap in other matchups too. So the ability to have Mind Control and Exiled Force to deal with your opponent's threats, and then Jinzo to just stop their back row is just really nice against Chaos. I like it a lot. Then we're playing 2 Jujutsu Master, 3 Messenger of Peace, and 3 Royal Decree. So I'm not saying that all of this was for Warrior, and I certainly didn't side all this in for Warrior every single time, but all of these cards are really powerful against Warrior. It depends on what you saw them play, I guess. But I do think Royal Decree did a lot of work for me today. Royal Decree is a very strong card, so I highly recommend playing it. Messenger of Peace is something a lot of people forgot about when Warrior was really popular. Messenger of Peace is a really strong card that stops them from doing a lot of stuff. And finally, Legendary Jujutsu Master, probably the most cuttable card in my side deck, if I'm being perfectly honest, and it might just be gone. I might just not play it. Came up a couple times, like just as a normal summonable monster that I can use to attack, which like you kind of want more live monsters when you play against those decks. Like you just want to be able to summon cards and attack, which I respect. Yeah, I mean it's okay, but overall these cards were really good for me. I would say that this card was like at best average. These cards were all really good. I never played Chaos, so I didn't side in the Mind Controls. I did side in Jinzo and Exiled Force one time, and they were both pretty good. So never saw Jinzo or Exiled Force actually, but they would have done good if I would have seen them. And then 3 Judgment. So this is the basically going first card, or just like if you don't know what to side in, just side this card in card. It's very, very good. Being able to just like tell your opponent to say no. It's really good against like just random like decks. Also, I used it in the Mirror versus Goat, and I think this card is really good against the Mirror because it stops like normal summons or flip summons or whatever. But the reason why I don't like it is because you lose so many life points. You gotta be really careful against things like Ring of Destruction. But overall, a really, really powerful card. So I do like it a lot. And finally, just gonna fly through this extra deck, but show off my cool GOAT tokens. Again, thank you, Nick Vinmar, for these tokens. They are so, so cool, dude. I highly appreciate it. Then the 3 Tur, of course, and then just random staples. So 3 of this, 1 of this. This is for Sangan. This is for usually a Tsukiyomi, just to get extra attack if you can't like attack. The Dark Bolter card's really good. I didn't summon it today, but this is really the only other fusion you want to summon besides Thousand Eyes Restrict. Really good, stopping Heavy Storm for your back row and all that stuff. This card's pretty decent too. I think it stops like traps and monster effects if you attack with it, so that card's not bad. This card stops trap cards, I believe, and it's a level 6, so you'd have to like use it. It's actually really good against like the Chaos Mirror, so you can use like Mind Control. Actually, you can't use Mind Control because you can't tribute it, but still a really good card nonetheless. Really, really good card. And then finally, the Gatling Dragon for the BLS if you ever run into that situation. So that'll be it for the profile, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, super fun. Don't forget to go to the Gaming Goat and play Goats on Fridays, because we have a bunch of people and hopefully we get a bunch more. I think we got double the amount of people that we were expecting, and people keep on coming, and we're going to keep on playing. So thanks a lot. See ya.